Hey, what's going on today, guys? It's Trey. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are here in the city of Didim, Turkey. We have a lot to see and do today here in Didim, but the very first place that we're going to stop is actually right over my shoulder. We are here at the Temple of Apollo. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this day started. Let's go check it out. And since we have the Turkish Museum Pass, this is one of the many sites that is included with your purchase. The Milesians designed the Temple of Apollo to rival the largest temple in the Greek world, the nearby Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The Temple of Apollo was indeed larger in some respects while smaller in others, but both temples were well over twice the size of Athens' Parthenon. This temple, however, was plundered and destroyed either in 494 BCE by the Persian king Darius or in 479 BCE by his son and successor Xerxes. Legend has it that the sacred spring ceased to flow until none other than Alexander the Great himself passed through on a conquest of his own, and he reconsecrated the site in 331 BCE. Nevertheless, the temple must have been a magnificent sight, as even the ruins can leave modern-day visitors awestruck. So out of every site that we have seen in Turkey so far, this one is definitely the most well preserved. I mean, the walls are still standing. A lot of the columns are still standing for the most part. And it's huge. Now, where we're standing at currently is where the holy courtyard used to be. And believe it or not, the walls are only a third of the height that they used to be. The really cool thing is that there wasn't a roof here at all. So basically, the people that were here, they got a chance to get some fresh air without actually having to leave the ground. So just imagine, just picture back in the day, there was like a small pool over here. Back in the day, you could come here with your friends, have a seat on the steps, have some wine, and just socialize and have a fun time. You made it! Yay! Level of craftsmanship exhibited by the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans is truly remarkable. They were light years ahead of their time. And think about it, there was obviously not too much modern machinery. A lot of these structures were built 100% using manpower and maybe a few horses here and there. You know, just think for a second about a marble countertop, for example. Just think for a second how heavy that is. And now multiply that by the massive weight of these stones and marble structures. And then also factor in the lack of machinery during that time period. All right, guys, so we had a fun time at the Temple of Apollo, and honestly, I could probably spend all day here. This is just a nice, relaxing place. The sun feels nice. It's November. We're out here wearing shorts. Love it. So now we're gonna head off to the next site. So I'll see you guys there. All right, guys, we are here at this museum, so we're gonna head in, check it out. And would you look at that? Back again with the headless statues. So it looks like we have a recreation of a Minoan kitchen. Very cool. Another headless statue. Okay, so I actually found some of the statue heads. But why on earth were they removed? I have a theory, and we'll maybe talk about it later. Like, seriously, all of the heads on the statues are removed. Headless, 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 and headless. They even removed the heads off of these sphinxes. So this is actually an aerial image of where we are right now. So we are literally down over here. It's actually out of frame. But yeah, so this is where we are. This is the amphitheater. Looks like we've got some ruins back over here. So yeah, we're gonna explore this entire site. And we are literally the only ones here. And we know we're the only ones here because there's nobody in the parking lot. So we don't usually buy souvenirs when we go places, but we couldn't pass up this refrigerator magnet that is literally made of stone. It's really thick, the quality is amazing, and it's hand painted. Guess how much it costs? It only cost $1. So we just finished up inside of the museum, and the really great thing about a lot of the museums here along the Aegean Sea is they are small enough to be able to see in about 30 minutes time, and you will get a chance to see everything. So while we were in there, we literally got a chance to walk through all the corridors, see all of the exhibits in less than 30 minutes. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna head a little bit deeper inside. We're gonna go check out the amphitheater, and then we're gonna walk around the grounds, check out the ruins. So we have finally made it to the amphitheater. By the way, it's a Thursday in early November, and there is literally not a single soul out here except for us. So it is quiet and very beautiful. I seriously cannot formulate the words to explain just how massive this amphitheater is. Not the largest that we've seen in Turkey, but it is still very large. And just in case if you're wondering, wheelchair, stroller accessibility wise, it is pretty much non-existent here. And you can utilize this pathway to get to the actual amphitheater itself, but once you make it here, there's some extremely steep and large stone steps. Yeah, it's not really looking so hot for us. The Theater of Miletus was built in the 4th century BCE after Alexander the Great defeated the Persians who controlled the city. In its first phase in the Hellenistic period, the theater could seat 5,300 people, and after being enlarged during the Roman period, it held a whopping 25,000 people. During the Roman period, possibly in the years of Nero, the Hellenistic Theater of Miletus was remodeled into a theater of the Roman type of Asia Minor. The floor of the orchestra was covered with red marble slabs. It was then converted into an arena and was used for gladiator combats. Thus, the first tiers of seats were removed and a protective parapet was constructed. For being over 2,000 years old, this place looks great. So obviously you guys see these huge stone columns here. So I'm wondering if back in the day, there was a roof here covering the people from the elements. So out of all of the amphitheaters that we've been to so far in Turkey, this one is by far the most quiet and the most secluded. Literally haven't seen, we've been here for about 30 minutes and literally have not seen a single person. Just listen for a second. It is so quiet. Now, call me crazy, but I think this might just be the best seat in the house. Made it all the way up to the top, and I mean, just looking around at this place, it seriously renders me speechless, because you know, I used to see and read about all of these places in history books, and it's like you don't truly realize how incredible a place is until you get there and see it. And just the stonework and the marble work and the fact that all of this is still standing is so amazing. And yeah, I just, it's really cool to finally see. So I'm currently down underneath the amphitheater, and I'm noticing there's almost like these prison cell type chambers. And so I'm wondering if this is maybe where they kept the animals, or they kept their rivals, or they kept traitors, or if this is just where they kept prisoners for fun. But it's really chilly down here and kind of sad, so hopefully I don't run into any ghosts or spirits while I'm down here. Here. So I'm gonna try to see if I could sneak up on it. It hid, never mind. But there's been like these tiny lizards that have been running around. Oh, I see one. You see it? There, you see it. Do you guys see it? I found another one. I'm gonna try to get closer so you guys can see it. But it's like blue and yellow. It ran away. Now I feel like they're all probably just watching me. Probably wondering, why on earth does that guy have a Liverpool jersey on? All right, guys, I could stand here lizard hunting all day, but we are gonna head off to the next spot. By the way, this has been the best visibility that we have had our entire trip. Like, yeah, there's still some smog in the area, but for the most part, it's really clear. There's a great 360-degree view of all of the mountains, and just the weather is outstanding. Also, if you guys are coming to Turkey, I'd recommend bringing a really good pair of hiking boots. I mean, sure, you can wear tennis shoes if you want, but definitely don't wear flip-flops. These just aren't the right conditions for those type of shoes, so just be smart. Try to bring some good hiking shoes. So, quick funny story for you guys. The reason why hiking gear is so important to me is because when we moved to Hawaii, the very first hike that we went on, I just did not have the right footing on, and it literally felt like I was on ice skates the entire time, and I ended up falling a lot. It was really embarrassing. So don't be like me. Just come prepared. Maybe even consider bringing a good hat, and I promise you, you'll have a fun time, because as you can see, it is very sunny out here. So maybe even bring some sunscreen. The ancient city of Priene has historically provided an advantage against attacks from the sea and the environment, as it is located on a steep, rocky terrain at an altitude of 370 meters. Famed for its Hellenistic architecture, it was originally built on the coastal line, but over time, the geography and landscape changed, forcing it to suffer economically as sea trade diminished. These days, it stands in the middle of a fertile plain and is a popular tourist attraction here in Turkey. This piece of land was deemed sacred and superior to its neighboring lands and is devoted solely to give honor to the god of the sky, Zeus. So sadly, out of every site that we have visited in Turkey, this one is arguably the most destroyed and desecrated place that we've seen, but nonetheless, it is still very impressive to see just how large the land in this place was back in the day. But as you can see, a lot of the stone columns have been knocked down naturally, and most likely through war and turmoil here. It's just really remarkable to see. And even though this place has been destroyed, it's still really cool to see these 5 columns still standing. Now, unfortunately at this site, they don't allow strollers, which is a little strange. They also don't allow tripods as well. They do allow wheelchairs, which I find kind of odd because it was pretty tough to get up here. There is a flatter surface, but it doesn't last that long, and there are tons of large rocks and boulders to get over. So just keep that in mind when you come here. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for us. We made it back to the hotel. We had a really fun day. Today was actually our shortest day of exploration, but it was still a lot of fun. We're having such a fun time in Turkey. It's just such a mind-blowingly great country. I don't have any negative things to say. The people have been great. The food has been great. The weather has been wonderful, and we're just having a fun time. So yeah, we're extremely grateful. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I cannot tell you guys enough how much that helps out the channel. So with that being said, thank you guys for all the continued love and support. Stay tuned for more adventures, and as always, thank you. Mahalo for watching. Looks like we're gonna have another awesome sunset tonight.
We haven't seen that great of a sunset since we moved, buddy. With the mountains there too.
It's about to go. It's gonna go. Watch, the entire sky is gonna blow up and be like purple and blue and pink and orange. There it goes. It's gone.